registered. The ambulance men, having been told by Israel that they would be killed if they entered Zaytuna to collect the dead, tried to save the wounded. We saw the ambulance man hold the girl up to the cameras outside the Shifa hospital, minus her arms and one leg which had been eaten by the dogs roaming through the killing fields of Zaytuna. We saw the picture of the baby in the same place, Zaytuna, found by the ambulance man, dead, still suckling on the toe of her dead mother. Keep that image in your mind of a baby suckling on the toe of its dead mother. The next time you see some fancy spokesman for Netanyahu on the national news telling you in a conveniently Western accent that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. What kind of democracy is it that murders children, that drops gas on people it's already locked up so that they cannot flee from the murderous bombardment? You may have seen on Al Jazeera a little girl that I saw just a few weeks ago in Gaza, aged 9 years, an orphan who had been staying in her grandmother's house when the bombing began. I interviewed her in the rubble of her house, which is all that she has left in the world. Her mother and her father and all 5 of her brothers were all killed in one raid in Gaza. That little girl asked me, and I'm asking you. She said, where is this Arab world that they teach us about in school? Where is this ummah that they teach us about in the mosque? Why did they leave us alone? Why did they leave us alone? She repeated it twice, the second time to the back of my head, because I couldn't look her in the face, for I had no answer to that question. And one of the reasons I'm here is so that I can go back to that child and tell her that she may have lost her mother and father, but she has hundreds of mothers and fathers in Phoenix, Arizona. She may have lost her brothers, but we are all now her brothers. And we have decided never again to leave her alone. All of this was in my mind as I mounted the rostrum in London on the 10th of January. And in my speech I announced that 4 weeks later I was going to lead a convoy of 8 vehicles from London to Gaza. In just 4 weeks, we managed to raise $2 million, more than 100 trucks. And on the 14th of February, St. Valentine's Day, we set off with love from London to Gaza. In that 4 weeks, a peaceful intifada broke out throughout England as the news of this convoy spread. I was addressing meetings of more than 1,000, not once but twice a day. People, especially the poorest people, it's been an experience in my life that in times of crisis, the poorest people respond the most and the richest people respond the least. I hope there are some exceptions to that in the room. this evening. But in the poorest parts of England, mainly amongst the Muslim population in England, mainly amongst the young, and mainly amongst the young women and girls, a huge upsurge took place. People were collecting goods and money day and night, so that when we left England on the 14th of February, we left at the head of the biggest column of British vehicles ever to travel on the route that we took. We drove through France, through Spain, into Morocco. The border between Morocco and Algeria is closed. Don't ask me why. Two Maghreb Arab countries speak the same language, look the same, eat the same food, listen to the same music. Their border has been closed for 16 years. It had rusted shut. They needed a torch, a blowtorch, to open it. It's opened only twice in 16 years. Both times for me as it happens. In 1999, when I took a convoy to Baghdad, and in 2009 for this convoy to Palestine. Wallahi, they should make me the envoy between Algeria and Morocco. I could solve this problem, whatever it is. And we traveled through the Maghreb, through Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya. Some of the countries, I won't name them, weren't really all that pleased to see us. They found roads that nobody had driven on for many years. Desert roads, roads away from the population, across which they could direct this huge British convoy, flying the flags of Britain and Palestine. They tried their best to avoid all cities and towns. They didn't want us there, but they couldn't keep us out, because Palestine is a passport, because the masses of the Arab world from Marrakesh to Bahrain have Palestine in their hearts. So the regimes tried their best to keep the people away from us. But despite all their best efforts, they completely failed. Everywhere we went, the people were pushing through the police, through the soldiers, to touch the vehicles, to give us their children to kiss, to take their wedding rings off and force them through the windows of the convoy, to give us food, to beg us to take them to Gaza with us. One old man, Filahin in Algeria, he begged me to take him in the back of my vehicle. I told him, I sleep in the back of this vehicle. There's no room. And they don't need more Filahin in Gaza. Why do you want to go? He said, I want them to know that when they bleed, we bleed. When they cry, we cry. And we are thinking of them day and night under this bombardment. That's what he said. Libya was different, I must say. I'm not a supporter of the system of government in Libya by any means. But Libya was the only country where the government and the people together wholeheartedly accepted this convoy, and in the case of